Hello, my name is Officer Ismael SD. I'm with the New Britain Police Department. I was raised in New Britain for most of my life, and before even getting to this whole section we're going to be talking about, I just wanted to say, I had the typical cop story of wanting to grow up and, be the cool guy on the streets helping everybody. And I've always wanted to be a cop. It's always been in the back of my mind. It's been my passion. It's been my drive. Everything that I've done growing up has led up to this moment. I attended New Britain High School. Throughout my time in New Britain High School, I joined the JROTC program because even before going to New Britain High, I knew that I wanted to go to the Army before becoming a police officer. So, I did that program. That program basically teaches you, the history of the military, the basic fundamentals, movements and all that kind of stuff. And I was also part of the Explorer program that we have here in New Britain Police Department. With that program, you get to work a lot with the community. It teaches you basically the insides of being not only in a police department, but being a police officer. So you get taught, a lot of stuff that we learn in the police academy, basic searching, handcuffing, felony stops, stuff within that part. So, once I graduated in 2016 in New Britain High, that's when I joined the Army. So during my time in the Army, I was stationed down in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was part of the 82nd Airborne Division, where I was airborne, obviously, because they're an airborne unit, the best airborne unit. But I was able to jump successfully 16 times. 14 of those were combat. Combat basically means you just jump with a full combat rucksack and your weapon on your side. Not gonna lie, that was probably the scariest thing I've ever done. My first jump I still remember, and my last jump I still remember. Every time I used to call my grandma before I used to jump, and we would say like a quick little prayer because, jumping out of airplanes was something that my family, or just anyone in my family would never think of. They're like, "Oh my God, you're so crazy." So, I was also able to deploy with my unit to Afghanistan. Throughout that time, I worked with several NATO units, basically like all the units that are around the world. So I remember I worked with Polish units, I worked with Australian units, all those guys around there. I also worked with Special Forces, Air Force and all that kind of stuff. I came back, and then in October of 2021, that's when I came back from the Army, and that's when I was able to get slotted into the New Britain Police Academy. So during my time in the academy and on the FTO process, I found myself basically being well prepared because the Explorer program, it helped me with everything that I learned in the academy and on FTO. The training and experience, it's very similar and alike. During my time as a new officer, I was able to be a police explorer advisor, basically giving back to the program that turned my interest into a passion. So I'm very grateful, and I'm super excited to be able to give back to this program because who knows who the future of this department is going to be. And I'm happy that I'm able to guide the youth that are joining the program into hopefully becoming police officers. Recently, I was also able to become part of the SWAT team here in New Britain, and it just makes me excited because, although I'm a new officer, I'm doing as much as I can because I'm hungry and I want to do as much as I can. So I'm very excited for the future endeavors that I have. So this experience has just been a full circle for me. Ever since I was a kid, I could remember wanting to be a police officer. So it's just a surreal experience that I'm able to now. Being in the Explorer program, as I said before, the relationship with the community was great. And now that I'm actually doing it here live as a police officer, I find myself even having a greater relationship with the community. And I'm sure that a lot of the officers here in New Britain can agree with that. The reason we have such a great relationship with the community is because as officers, we work alongside with them very well. And the community knows that behind this badge, we're human too.